In this video, I'm going to tell you how to get cracked fast in Season 4. The most important time of the day to improve is during your warm-up, which it may not seem like it because most people will just like free build or do a quick 1v1 to warm up, but if you start challenging yourself in your warm-up, I'm telling you, this is the best time to improve your mechanics. But if you're anything like me, I get bored doing the same warm-ups every day, which is why in this video, I'm giving you 5 different warm-up routines that you can run to see improvements. And then at the end of the video, I'll give you some advice if you're trying to go pro. But let's start out with warm-up number 1. This warm-up is good for improving your piece control, your building consistency, and your fighting IQ. It's my new map, the How to Piece Control map. I made this map for 2 reasons. 1, to help beginners learn how to play the game and master their piece control. But secondly, I built it so that I could use it as a warm-up and so can other advanced players. So first off, if you're a beginner, I recommend running through all the beginner sections until you know it like the back of your hand. You should become confident setting up peaks, confident piece controlling from behind cover, and understand everything in that section of the map. And most importantly, the way you get these skills to transfer in-game is that you fully recognize all the scenarios. As a simple example, this ramp drill, what should you do first? You should always go for the cone first. It shouldn't even be a hesitation. When you see somebody ramping up, you're gonna try to get them coned in an actual game. You build those reflexes in this map, but you gotta make sure that you're fully understanding the scenarios. Because if you don't, and you're kind of slow with it, then you're gonna miss the piece control opportunities in an actual game. The good news is, I gave you a cycle all option, so once you get down how to do each of these drills, just run the cycle all option, and you should be able to get confident recognizing those scenarios, and that's how you get it mastered. Now for me as an advanced player, I hop into this map and go into the advanced section and cycle all every single day. The goal every day while running this is to try to do every single drill in a row without any mess ups. So hitting a max pump every time, not missing any edits, and doing the piece control from behind cover. So far, I haven't been able to get through all the drills without messing up yet, but I'm gonna get there eventually. Now warm-up number 2 can be used for all around improvements. Your aim, building, editing, crosshair placement, everything. For this warm-up, we're going into the Jivan practice map. Now, I've built 4 drills that you can use at the start of the day, which will help you improve so fast. I start out by going into the rapid piece control drill off to the right. Now, you can set up whatever goals you want, but I just go in here until I get around 5 to 10 in a row, depending on the day and how much time I have. And what I mean by in a row is setting up perfect piece control and perfect peaks to the point that you don't get hit by the enemy. If you get hit by the enemy, you have to start back over at 0, and you run this until you're fully warmed up and you're hitting all the drills perfectly. The important thing is challenge yourself. That goes without saying for all of these warm-ups. If you're just kind of going through it slow, kind of falling asleep while doing it, you're doing it wrong. The second part of the warm-up, and this is probably the best part, free build with bots. Do this in order. Start on a slow speed, whether it's the slowest or second to slowest, and focus on getting your crosshair placement as tight as possible, doing the smallest movements with each edit. After you build up all the way to height, switch to fast mode or even the fastest option, whichever you want. Once again, build up all the way to height, but this time focus on consistency. Try to do moves that you can do without messing up. When you're on fast option, it's obviously harder to do stuff like triple edits. So you can do simple tunnels, whatever you want to do, all the way up to high ground, but focus on consistency. And once again, push yourself. Make your hands cramp up while doing this. And then after you finish that, go back to normal mode, and I'm telling you, the game is going to feel like you're playing in slow motion and you're going to be hitting way more edits. The third thing is going to the aim section, and you can honestly run whatever drills you want here, but challenge yourself, switch to hard mode, keep track of your scores and try to beat them every day. Practice aiming with guns that you're not confident with. Aim is one of the most important aspects of the game, which is why you shouldn't slack off. And finally, you can head over to the tunnel drill. If you're new to tunnels, you can do it on slow mode. If not, switch it on to fast mode and try to get all the way through the challenge. Tell yourself you're not allowed to get off until you complete the challenge. All you gotta do to complete the challenge is survive 1 minute straight. So see if you can pull that off. For warm-up number 3, I linked down below my Kovaaks playlist. All you gotta do to get in it is copy that share code code, go to Kovaaks and go to where it says enter share code. Don't put it in like the playlist search bar, but yeah, enter the share code and you'll unlock it. A couple things you need to know about this drill. First off, as you can see, I have it set to run multiple times in a row for each drill, which you should do. You shouldn't do a drill once and call it a day. You don't need to go through every drill in this routine. That would take like over an hour. Just focus on a few tracking and a few flick shots and then call it a day. When you're doing the tracking drills, the biggest thing you should focus on is trying to get rid of that shake when you're tracking. My shake was so much worse when I started, but the more you do these tracking drills, the more it'll help you get a steady track. A couple things that can help you speed up the process is 1, adjust your sensitivity. If your mouse is shaking like crazy while trying to track these tiny orbs, your sense might be a little bit too high. A second thing you can do is try a different mouse pad or mouse glides. Just search your mouse on Amazon or on Google and search for mouse glides for your specific mouse. And finally, try readjusting the height of your chair. Sometimes if you have an awkward height, it'll make your tracking really messed up. So adjust it until you find something where your arm is like super comfortable while tracking. It can go a long way. And one little bonus thing if you have $20 lying around is every single time I'm playing, I'm wearing a gamer sleeve. It makes the friction between your arm and your mouse pad less, which helps with more consistent tracking. A link to the store is down below and it'll enter a 10% discount with my code. Search for the Jivan sleeves in the store too. I have some custom sleeves on there. For the flick shots, the biggest thing you should be focusing on is getting sharp movements. Try to increase the speed of your flicks every single time you run these drills. Something I do in the drills like this one is I'll reset my crosshair dead to the center of the screen after every single flick. Just like in Fortnite, I usually reset the position of my mouse to head level. But yeah, the biggest thing you should focus on is increasing the speed of your flicks. If you just go too slow, you're not going to gain anything out of it. Possible warm-up number 4 is doing 1v1s. The two maps I recommend are Ken Bean's Speed Realistics or my all-in-one 1v1 map. But listen up, do not just queue into the map. If you're trying to get a good challenge, you need to find good opponents. If you're more of a beginner, yeah, you could probably queue into just regular matchmaking. But just for reference, almost every time I queue public matchmaking in a 1v1, I 10-0 them. It's just easy. The way to get a real calculated challenge in 1v1s is by going to either Scrim Discords or you could try out my Discord and go to the looking for players section and just type in 1v1 Speed Realistics or 1v1 Jivan's map and find an opponent that way. In those servers, you can actually check people's roles to see how much tournament PR they have. That way you can find somebody with a similar amount of tournament experience as you. So yeah, that's what I recommend for 1v1s. And the final warm-up is doing Zone Wars. This is more just like a fun one. The other ones are really good for improving mechanics, but Zone Wars is just for general enjoyment. But it can also help you gain experience for solo endgames. The two maps I recommend are my Final Moving Zone Wars map, which code is down below, and then Manu's brand new Surge Wars. He actually hosts Surge Wars in his Vital Scrim server and Manu Scrim server every single day. So if you guys want really intense Zone Wars practice, that's a good place to find it. I also host Zone Wars on my stream here and there. So those are 5 warm-ups that you can run every day, and I promise you'll see improvements. I have a lot more creative maps coming, so make sure you're staying tuned on this channel. So those warm-ups are going to help you improve in your general mechanics and in your fighting. But if you're trying to go pro, then a good structure in the rest of your day is important too. It's going to sound like a lot, but realistically, this is like a 3 to 4 hour session. It starts out with the warm-up, one of the warm-ups up above. You can do any of them. And then you got to get signed up for scrims in Vitals. Or if you're on EU, then I would recommend Noble scrims. While you're waiting for the scrims to start, you should run 1v1s or 2v2s against other people your level. After the scrims are over, VOD review. It's a pretty simple cycle. You warm up, you 1v1, that'll help you keep your mechanics and fighting up to speed. The scrims is going to help you learn the meta, get endgames down, build team chemistry, and get ready for tourneys. And then VOD reviewing is just going to top it all off and get you ready for scrims the next day. Try to take notes while you're VOD reviewing so you know what to practice in the next upcoming scrim day. That's the grind that most pros do. A lot of them also, have more time in their day, so they'll run ranked, they'll run 2v2s against other people for money. But realistically, if you want to see that improvement, the biggest thing you got to do is practice 1v1s, 2v2s, and scrims. And now I probably don't need to say this, but I'll say it anyway. A good mental health also goes a long way into your competition. If you're on the computer all day long, not getting a workout in, not going outside, not socializing, it's going to be rough to keep a good mentality for a long period of time. And if after 6 months your mentality just crashes and you can't do it anymore, then boom, all that work was for nothing. I mean, not for nothing. You probably still have fun while grinding like I do, but you know what I'm trying to say. I hope this video helps you guys out. Stay tuned because I got more content on the way like always. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.